Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Skill Up. Wonderful Monday afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Skill Up Show, that show where we talk about parenting, where we talk about how to help parents like pros. Yes, we want to share tips and parents that will help them begin to do more when it comes to parenting their young children and preteen. That it says that all the seeds fell on good soil and right. Yes, there's a part of the scripture that says that all the seeds yielded grain, some 100 times as much, and others 30 times as much. Notice that the least that it yielded was 30 times as much. Good afternoon, dear parents. My name is Maribel Chima, and I am the founder of the Parenting Through Mentorship Academy and PTM Resource Mastermind Circle, a peer mentorship and accountability group where we work with young children and preteens to help them begin to take the front stage in their own lives. I just talked about the scripture talking about seeds and saying that there were some seeds that fell. I mean, the beginning part of that scripture, I think it's somewhere in Matthew. I can remember. Yes, I think so. I mean, the beginning part of that scripture talked about some seeds falling, in bad soil, thorns, and all of that. But some seeds actually fell on good soil, right? And those seeds that fell on good soil, some of them yielded in hundreds, some in 60, and the least yield was somewhere in 30s. All right. Now, the question you want to ask yourself as a parent is, what kind of soil has your child fallen on? What kind of soil is your child planted in today? The soil that is your home, the soil that is your environment, the soil that is you, dear parents. The advantage that you are to your parent, to your child, is that advantage leading your child to yield in hundreds, or is that advantage going to lead your child to yield in hundreds, in 60s, in 30s, or in nothing more? All right. Are you going to be the reason why your child multiplies in hundreds? Are you going to be the reason why they multiply in 60s, right? 60 times more. Okay. To be the reason why your child finds it difficult to even blossom and multiply. Welcome to the Skill Up Show, and today we're going to be looking at how we can unlock our child's potential through teaching them financial education. How can we use education? How can we use financial education to help our children unleash or unlock their potential? That is what we are going to be looking at today. All right. Now, in helping children unlock their potential, especially because we're going to focus on financial potentials, right? We're going to focus on how we can use financial potentials to help them unlock, or financial education to help them unlock their potentials. In December, I wrote an amazing book, and we're going to be learning from that book today. Okay, I wrote this amazing book. It says Unlocking Excellence. All right, how can you unlock excellence? Meaning, how can you help your child? Okay, I said it's a guide, right? It's a guide to success beyond the classroom. What are the things that we can unlock in our children to help our children become excellent? What are the other things that we can unlock besides academics? Because if I come here and I say, we want to teach you how to help your children unlock academic excellence, I'm sure not too many of us will need extra tutoring in that area. It is our forte. It is what we spend our time, our energy, our money. It is somewhere embedded in every single one of our values. Yes, every time you meet parents, you meet families, you meet children, you meet people, and you ask them about about their values, there's hardly any family, really any average family, that you will not hear education being a part of their values. So as far as academic goes, right, a lot of us, okay, even though I know that a lot of families are still struggling with how to unlock this. We think we know, all right? Most families think that they know how to unlock academic excellence. Unfortunately, not so many families know. And so we are unlocking something, or we're doing something, but most often it's not effective, okay? But that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're looking at how we can use financial education by just educating your child about how money works, by just educating your child about financial abundance, by teaching your child about financial awareness, how you can use that to actually unlock the potential that they have, how you can use that to help your child become self-aware, to help your child become everything that God has created them to be, how you can tap into that to help your child see who they are and take it from there to become the part or the role that you can play as a parent. That's what we're going to be looking at today. All right. Now, we cannot start this conversation, dear parents. Okay, you can start this conversation. You can start trying to help your child unlock excellence or unlock their potential, and all of that, especially if you're going to do it with financial education without looking at your family dynamics. So the first place to start is actually looking at your family dynamics. Now, what is your family dynamics? It's really, it could come from this way or that way. It could come from anywhere. One way or one dimension that you can look at it is your family values, basically. All right. So one way you can look at your family dynamics is your family values. In fact, that's the first and most important way you want to look at it. What are your family values when it comes to money? What does your family understand that money is? All right. What does money mean to you as a family? How is it that you think as a family? How do you access money? As a family, what are the ways that are legit to you? What are the boundaries when it comes to financial acquisition and all of that? What are the boundaries that you have as a family? What do you see as wealth as a family? Okay, what do you see as wealth as a family? What do you see, or what do you think? What ideology do you have as it surrounds that subject of money? All right, what beliefs do you have as it surrounds the subject of money? Okay, all of this is going to come to play in how you are going to, in your dynamics before you can begin to teach the child anything. You cannot teach what you don't know. You cannot teach what you don't have. You cannot teach beyond what it is that you believe. All right. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with the children. Okay. I like to use, my parenting is based on teachable opportunities. Our parenting in our home is based on teachable moments, teachable opportunities. All right. So yesterday we had seen a video, all right, 2 days ago, my husband and I were, we're talking about the P. Diddy's video, the video that CNN released of P. Diddy, what do you call it now? Abusing his girlfriend 6 years ago, or was that, the video I'm talking about? So we're looking at that, and we were talking about that video, and my husband was telling me, the law, what do you call it? The implications, basically, how they had settled out of court before and all of that, thing. And then yesterday, of course, I thought it was an opportunity to key into that teachable opportunity and teach the children. And so we were talking, about it, of course, in an age appropriate way. Okay. And we realized, I asked the children, what do you think about this person? I told them a little background. They don't know who PDD is. I don't know. My children don't know him. All right. Not because, he's not that important, or that he's not that, because they don't have any business in that zone, knowing, they've not had any experience or any reason to really know who he is, right? So yes, so I had to explain to them who he is. How big a mogul he is, how big, in the musical industry and all of that he is, and all of that. And then asked them, what do you think about this person as far as wealth goes? Because when we talk about money, we looked at, I mean, who has money? Basically, he's a rich man, isn't it? He's a rich man. He's a multi-billionaire and all of that. Right now, for some family, this is a wealthy man. All right, for some families, this is a wealthy man. Okay, by the world standard, this is a wealthy man and all of that. But when you bring it to your family dynamics, is this a wealthy man? Now, that's what I'm talking about. So your family dynamics would create a narrative for what wealth is for you as a family, or how you want your children to perceive wealth, and how you want your children to, access wealth, and what you want, or what it is that is ideal for you as a family, right? When it comes to your pursuit, is it pursuit of wealth? No, when it comes to you creating or building, wealth, building a wealthy empire, a dynasty, and all of that, what is it to you? Who do you have to be? How do you have to be? What do you have to do, right? Basically, for you to say, oh, this person is really wealthy. And that's, of course, because we have learned about the dimensions of wealth, and the children understand the various dimensions of wealth. All right, so this is not about PDD, so let's move. So basically, I was trying to say, now when I talk about the dynamics, this is what I'm talking about. For some people, what wealth is I have dealt with this, in the last few series that we've had of this webinar. So you can check in our YouTube station, channel. So you can check our YouTube channel, by the way. If you're not subscribed to that channel, you should check our YouTube channel, Parenting Through Mentorship, and go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We have tons of resources there covering different areas of parenting that you can key into. Are you watching us on Facebook right now? Okay, if you're watching us on Facebook, why don't you go ahead and tag a friend so that they can join us in this session right now? And if you're on YouTube, why don't you share the link with your friend? And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click the subscription link and subscribe to our channel. Also click the notification, so whenever we go live, you get to join us, or you get to see or catch the replay. And if you're catching the replay, let us also know in the comments that you are catching the replay. All right. So yes, your family dynamics has to come in. There are families that, all that matters is, what was it I was reading today? What was it I was reading today? What was it I was reading? I can't remember. Something on social media anyway. And, it was talking about wealth, and someone, I think it was still the PDD's video or something like that. And someone was saying, right where he is right now, was that the video I was right where it is right now, there are other women that are ready to jump in. And no, it was a young girl, sorry, it was a young girl that made a video, an American girl, and she was talking to her fellow American women, and she was saying, just raise your nose and smell the coffee. Why are we comfortable being baby mamas? Why are we comfortable having children with men that we know will never marry us, men that we know will never this, will never that, and all of that, right? Even if you're not going to get married, why are we having children that we don't have plans for, we don't have a future for, and all of that? I think that caught my attention. And she talked about, how other races, the women are actually getting married and settling until after they have, then they start having children. Why is it more common among Black women, of course, that the children come in first, especially with men that they know will never get married to them, and all of that. So in that conversation, some people were talking about, even someone said, if you are going to do it, look for a rich man and do it with him. Now, that is someone's mother, okay? That is a woman. That's someone's mother. That's a family. That could be, in their family dynamics, this could be what wealth is. Finding some rich guy. It doesn't matter whether or not anything else, just give birth to a child with, So there's so many, there are various dynamics. So we want to look at all of this, right? that dynamic of what wealth is going to inform how you're going to go ahead and do this with your child. But whatever it is, okay, whatever it is that these dynamics are, I want you today to know that principle surpasses all of these dynamics. So whatever dynamics you have, let it be rooted on principles. Let your dynamics be rooted on principles. Okay, let it be rooted biblical principles. Let it be rooted on the principles of your beliefs, okay, your ideologies. That is deeper than just what society is saying, what culture is saying. What does the word of God say? What does your belief say? Okay, so let it stem from there, and you would realize that these principles, they stay solid no matter the generation and all of that. I think that is a strong base, right, for any dynamics, basically, for any family dynamics. Okay, so when you have this in place, then we can jump in and begin to talk about how you can use financial education to unleash your child's potential, or to unlock your child's potential. If you are with me, why don't you go ahead and say something in the comment section so that I know that I've got company? And if you are catching the replay, okay, let us also know that you are here. And no, I found out something most time in the last few weeks. When I go live, I realized that on Facebook, I only go live to myself, like only I can see. All right, so just give me a second. Let me be sure that this is not what is happening again today. So for the past 3 or so sessions that I have, I go live, and then the next thing I see that I was only visible to myself. All right, so let's just do a bit of housekeeping, if you don't mind. Let's be sure that this is not the case again, that we are showing only to me, or I'm only showing to myself, or that we are even on Facebook at all. Please, if you're on Facebook right now, if you're watching on Facebook right now, could you let me know that you can see me and you can hear me right now? Please, I would like that very much. Just give me feedback that you can see and you can hear me. All right, if that's the case, then we can move. But 1 second, let's do this housekeeping and we will move. Okay, so as I said, we're going to be sharing from my book, Unlocking Excellence. That's where I'm going to be sharing today's class from. Okay, an amazing, amazing book, by the way. It's for children 10 and above. So if your child does not have this book, please hurry and get a copy of this book for your child. We have this book in major cities in Nigeria, so you can actually pay, order for it from us and then pick up in your location. I don't understand, my phone is freezing. All right, so you can actually order it from us and then pick up in your location. It's also available on Amazon if you are not in Nigeria, so you can get it on Amazon also. We also have you can also get this book on our seller page. All right, so you can actually get a PDF copy of the book from seller. All right, so my other device is coming on, so I think we'll just move on. All right, so the first thing you want to do if you are going to help your child unlock their potential, right, using financial education, is one, helping your child to understand money. You want to help your child to understand money first of all. How does money work? That's the entry point, basically, all right, for financial education. Let's come with money, all right? No, before money, you also, of course, when you want to introduce money, you also want to go and look at the child's mindset, okay? The mindset comes where we're talking about your dynamics and all of that. What does your child already know, and what does your child already think about money? That, of course, would have come from what your child has watched you, okay, how your child has watched you interact with money, how your child has seen you talk and act around money. So this will all affect, the money dynamics, or the money understanding of money that your child has. All right. So when you are done with that, does your child have a fixed mindset about money? Does your child think that money is evil? Does your child think that, what are the affirmations that you have about money? What are the things that you say that have become a mindset for your child, right, on the subject of money? You want to visit that, okay, and be sure that your child has that. Or does your child, or if that is what your child has, okay, you want to check, does your child have an abundant mindset, right, about money? Does your child think of money from an abundance place? Does your child think that they are capable? Now remember that this show is for parents of young children and preteens, so we're looking at youth thinking and talking to your child that is 6, 7, up to 14 thereabouts. Okay, experts say that by the time children are 7 years old, they have already formed their money habits. By the time your child, what is wrong with this phone? By the time your child is 7, your child is already formed their money habits. So it is not out of place that we are saying that you should find out what your child already thinks or knows about money by the time you're talking to your 6 or 7 years old. Because what it means is that, from what the experts are saying, okay, and that we know, all right, is that by 7, your child already has formed the habits the habits around money that your child will manifest at 10, at 15, at 20, and at 50. It's already formed, except at some point there is an intentional, effort to unlearn some of these habits and relearn new habits. But if nothing is done, and it's not, if it is not an issue, or it's not anything that comes up, okay, there's no reason to go back and look at this, then the child already, who the child is going to be around money, how the child is going to interact with money, okay, is already formed by the time the child is 7. So it's not out of place that we're talking about money right now, okay, or we're talking about you paying attention to your child's money habits. All right, so find out all of that. Okay, the moment you have that, and or you are sure that you have been able to help them build or start having an abundance mindset, that is what is principle. That is what your child should have. Your child should see money from an abundance place. Your child should have an abundance mindset about money. Your child should not have a scarcity mindset about money. Okay, this has to do with you, as I said. Okay, at 7, if your child has a scarcity mindset about money, it means that there is something in how you have portrayed money. There's something about how you have taught them about money, how you have interacted with money, how you have shown money to your child. There's something that you have done that is wrong, you and the child's environment. It means that you will have to jump in and start helping the child correct all that money, the negative money mindset. You will have to do that, and you have to replace the negative mindset, or the scarcity mindset. You will have to replace it with abundance mindset. I'll give you an example. Okay, so if your child at 7 already thinks that money is evil, all right, it means that someone has sold that narrative to your child. Now what you want to do is you want to peel that narrative by telling your child what money is. That money is not evil, that money is a tool, that money is something that is good. You want to start telling your child that the money is something that is good. If your child is already in that place that he feels that money is something that only certain people can have, you want to start peeling that, letting the child letting the child know that human beings are the only species that can transform themselves, meaning you can be here today and you do not have a dollar, you do not have a kobo, and 1 week from now you can be a millionaire. It is all about what? It is all about the value that you have, the value that you bring, and how that value solves the problems around you, how the value that you bring, right, can create solutions. And when you create solutions, money will come to you. All right, so if your child already has the mindset where he is constantly looking for money, then you want to start peeling that and telling the child, we don't look for money, we create Yes, that we don't look for money. We create value. We learn skills. We build our skills. We build our capacity. And when we build our capacity, we look for solutions that we can give the world. And when we do this, right, money will look for us. So these are all abundance mindsets. Okay, so I mean, you can see that this lesson is not something that will start right here. We have had series of lessons where we've taught this. In fact, we even had a free masterclass where we taught parents about money and how they can present money to their children. All right, so if this is the first class you are joining, it means that you have missed some things. And but hey, it's not too late. All right, so we have a guide. I think it's even free for now. So we have a guide that you can actually access. We have a guide that you can access, and in that guide it teaches, you know, all of this. And apart from that, we have a robust course. Okay, we also have the master class. Okay, that master class was for 1K. It was $1. It was a $1 1,000 naira master class that had powerful message that was worth. In fact, that class was worth 7,000 naira, but we gave it for 1,000 just because we wanted parents to come and get this knowledge. So you can also still get that class, right, to learn what I'm talking about right now. All right, so let's move on. So now that is it. That mindset, you peel that mindset and then you replace it. All right, and when you replace it, then you get to the point where you have to teach your child to understand how money works. You want to teach your child that money is about what they can create, money is about what they have. All right, I wrote here that the knowledge is first taught at home directly. All right, the knowledge of money is first taught at home directly, and this will form your child's financial blueprints. All right, the money lessons that you teach your child at home is going to form your child's financial blueprint. All right, that financial blueprint becomes the template for your child's understanding of money, or the template for your child's money behavior. And this is very key. All right, we even have, did we share that in that class? Do we? No. Okay, it's in the children's class that we're sharing this. We have a robust class that is coming up for children, raising financially smart children and connecting this to their purpose, basically. All right, we have that class coming at the end of the month. It's for children 8 to 15. In that class, we're going to be sharing with the children a financial blueprint from 0 to 18. You can use that blueprint if you're a parent of a child who already starts for that course. You can use that blueprint to form the curriculum or the lessons that you would teach your children from today till your children become 18. When you are able to go through that whole curriculum, then you would have raised someone that is solid in this financial education and all of that. But you don't even have to go with that, you know, blueprints completely. All right, you can actually look at the blueprint and it gives you an idea to actually, you know, tweak it and create your own financial blueprint. That is what is very key. But that blueprint is a guide, basically. So there are many ways that you can make yourself abundant, first of all. There are many ways that you can equip yourself in order for you to equip your child effectively. All right? So that's it. So the first thing you want to do here is you want to help your child understand money. All right. The next one is you want to teach your child the savings culture. You cannot teach your child financial abundance without teaching your child savings culture. All right. So when you teach your child about savings, right, you are teaching your child delayed gratification. Remember, we're looking at how we can use financial education to unlock our child's potential or our children's potential. So first thing, you have taught them how to understand money. You have taught them where money comes from. You don't pursue money, you create value, and then money will come to you. When you teach them this kind of lessons, all right, what you're doing, you're telling the child that in life, it is about what you have to give to the world. It is about what you have that can bless the world. It is about what you do for yourself, right? How you equip yourself, how you build your capacity, and then the skills that you have. It is through the skills that you have that you are able to create solutions. And then in creating the solutions, you're able to look at your environment, to understand your environment and the needs of the people in that environment. What are you doing? You're teaching your child to be a person of impact. You're teaching your child to be a person of value. You're teaching your child to equip themselves. You're teaching your child to be aware of themselves, right? Before you can begin to create solutions, you need to be aware of the you need to be aware of the value, or sorry, of the talents that you have. You need to be aware of the skill, I mean, the talents that you have, or the things that come to you easily that you are able to build into skills. Now, when you have all of these, now you now become self-aware. It's that self-awareness that makes you understand where you are thick. I mean, that makes you understand where you are thick. It what makes you understand the things that makes you, unique, or the things that make you, the place where you stand out. And now it is in those areas where you stand out, in that thing that you are thick, that you are able to make a difference in the world that is different from what other people can do. It is what you are that makes you exceptional, that makes you stand out amongst the multitude. Okay, it's when you stand out, or when the solutions that you create is something that is valuable, that is when people come to you. That is when people come and ask for the value that you bring to the table. Now, when you are doing this, see how you are building your child in various areas, basically. All right, helping them unlock their potentials, helping them see who they are, helping them understand who they are, helping them understand the potentials that they have, helping them understand the gifts that they bear, helping them understand how they can change the world. Now, this is what we're talking about when we say just by teaching your children financial education, you can get them to begin to, unleash their potentials, isn't it? All right, teach them savings culture. When you're teaching your children savings culture, you are definitely teaching them how to delay gratification. You are definitely teaching them how to stand out, isn't it? You are teaching them how to save first, how to prepare for the future, right? You're teaching them how to prepare for the future. You are teaching them that they do not spend and leave the remnants as savings. You're teaching them how to keep how to save first before they spend. In doing this, you are actually helping your child build their future. In teaching this, you're putting your child in a place where the child is reflective. Your child is able to reflect. Your child is able to think of what is priority per time. Your child is able to think of prioritizing, isn't it? Your child is able to prioritize just because you are teaching them savings as a skill. And how do you do this? It's because you have come to that consciousness to teach your child about financial education. Do you understand? Now, these are small ways that you are using to bring your child to that place where your child begins to understand who they are more, where your child begins to unlock the potential that they have. The child begins to look inward just because for you are teaching financial education. All right. The next one you want to do is you want to teach your children about budgeting. All right. So when you teach your children about budgeting, what you are basically teaching your child is how to plan, right? What you're basically teaching your child is how to plan, how to set goals, and how to achieve those goals. You're teaching your child how to curb their spontaneity when it comes to spending. You're teaching your child how to build for the future. You're teaching your child how to prioritize. You're teaching your child how to make the right choices when it comes to what they need per time. So budgeting allows you pay attention to what is necessary per time. Now, budgeting also allows you to stay within a plan. All right. When you do this, you are also teaching your child self-control. You're teaching your child discipline. Do you know, for you're only teaching your child how to budget, but with doing this, you're already teaching your child how to thrive in various other aspects of their lives. You're teaching them how to thrive in education. You're teaching them how to thrive in their academics. You're teaching them how to thrive in their relationship with their friends, right? Knowing when to say no, knowing when to stick to what it is that you have planned for the day, for the weeks, for the month. Now, when you teach financial education and you teach budgeting, you teach your children how to budget for what they have to spend and how to stay true to that budget. Sorry, 1 second, please. Okay, I needed to make that a little brighter. All right, so when you teach your child how to create budgets, how to stay true to those budgets, and all of that, as your children practice these things with you, they also learn how to set boundaries in other aspects of their lives. That is why your child will go to school and your child will have an opportunity or will be invited by their friends to come and go to somewhere where they do not have in their plan. I mean, where they have not planned to go to, or to do something that they have not included in their plans. And the child is able to say, oh no, that wasn't what I planned to do today. That is not in the plan for today. Remember, this child has learned to budget and stick to the budget and stick to the plan of the budget. So this way, the child is able to stick to the plans that they have, just because they can transfer, or they can use their working memory to take one experience and apply it in other areas. So this is the thing about learning and about being intentional, about whatever it is that you are doing or you are teaching your children. Okay, when you are able to instill certain skills in your children today, okay, it's not just for that particular thing that you used at the time to instill that skill, okay, it becomes something that will be a ripple effect in other areas of the child's life. That's how it works with children. All right, they're able to apply it. It is an executive functioning skill, basically, okay, working memory, where your children are able to take experiences, proud experiences, and build on those experiences for other situations that come up in their lives. Okay, just one experience they've had, they're able to take that experience and apply it, right, to thrive in other situations. That's what it is. So you can use financial education, budgeting, to teach your children self-control, to teach your children discipline, to teach your children how to curb that spontaneous, or what do they call them? What is it called? In money, language. It is called what does they say? Yeah. What's it called? You are a. It's not spontaneous buyer. I know you are a. You just spend. I mean, you spend as the thoughts come, right? You can actually walk into a shop and you didn't have any plan to shop. In fact, you probably walked in that shop to go and buy one item. You come out of that shop with 5 items, and amongst those 5 items, the one thing that took you in there is not even there. You can just walk into a place and you don't have any business with buying anything. You just get in there and all of a sudden, boom, money that you have planned for something else, money that you did not even have that thing as part of the plan, right? You just go in there, take the money that is meant for something else that is probably serious, and then you put it in there just because you can. It is financial indiscipline, isn't it? Right? But a lot of us do it, and that's partly because we probably didn't learn this skill early. We didn't internalize this skill, and all of that. So yes, if you can teach these skills to your child today, it will spiral, or it will, the ripple effect will touch various other parts of their lives, and of course your child is able to use that experience in other areas. Okay, so you are able to help your child peek into the world of investments, right? You're able to help your child peek into the world of investments. Now, if you start teaching financial education early, you get to start teaching your child about, investments. You teach your child about how to make money, how to multiply money, of course, how to make money, how to manage it, and how to multiply money. Okay, that is part of financial education. And these are some of the areas that we're going to be touching on in the financial class for children that we'll have at the end of this month. We're going to be teaching them all about investments. We're going to be teaching them about how to make, manage, and multiply money. We will teach them how to create a portfolio for themselves right now, because they are a brand. We will teach them how to start taking charge of their lives as far as their financial, as far as their financial part of their life is concerned. Okay, so These are all of things that the children will be learning. It's going to be really a robust class. It's going to be with a financial I'm sorry, we're going to have a financial expert. Yeah, we'll have a financial expert and we'll have a child motivator. I hope you all know that I am, a child motivator. All right, an expert child motivator at that. So this, I mean, we're going to be taking this course. I'll be taking this course with an expert, a financial expert. So your children will go hugely equipped basically for financial awareness or financial intelligence basically. All right, so you get a chance to tap into that place where your children can start learning about investment. Now when your child begins to learn about investment early, you are teaching your child how to make informed choices. Okay, because in investing you will have to think of where to invest, because there are always options as to where to invest. All right, so when you get your children, you get your 10, your 12-year-olds, your 14-year-olds to already start thinking about money from a place of, okay, now that I have earned the money, okay, it even starts from there. How can I earn money? Okay, what can I do right now to earn money? Because as part of the principles, you want to make children understand money from a place of earning. Okay, they need to understand that money is earned. Money is earned by our efforts. Money is earned by our value. Money, the value that we have, the value that we give. Money is earned in many dimensions. Okay, money is not just cash. Money is not just currency. Money is in the human capital that you have. Money is in the influence that you have. Money is in the influence that you have. Money is in the impact that you create. Okay, your children need to know this. Okay, I mean, wealth is in all of these dimensions, so your children need to know this. All right, when they know this, then they understand the place of investing. Okay, whether it's investing their time, whether it's investing their service, whether it's investing, right, whether it's investing themselves, I mean their human capital, into the lives of other people, into courses, into the pursuits, right, of excellence basically. So when your children understand this, then your children know, they now know how to begin to build themselves as people, build themselves as brands, build themselves, right, as mentees, build themselves in all of these areas, build themselves as people who can create solutions, build themselves as people that can create products and services. All right, now the earlier you start teaching your children about money, the easier they understand these things. Okay, the earlier they understand these things, and earlier this becomes a part of their thought process or their thought system. Now, if you're not teaching your children about money, you will find that's why we have 14 and 15-year-olds that their only problem in this world, is how to go to school and come back because they don't have a choice, and then how to jump into one video game or jump into one screen or one thing. So they're either talking just football or talking just one, is either one game, football or something. I mean, nothing is deep, nothing is deep, nothing shows that they have in-depth knowledge of what the world is about or what it is that is about to hit them, right, as they grow older. So your 15-year-old is not talking about anything that has got depth yet at 15. And that's the same person that you're going to be sending out at 16 for some people. Okay, that's the same person that you're going to be sending out in 1 year time. That's the same person that you're going to be sending out in 2 years time to go out there in the world on their own, right? That's the same person you're going to be sending to university. I don't care whether you carry your bag and go with them to the city where they are going to school. But whatever it is, you will not sit down in every class with them. You will not sit down in every conversation with them. You will not sit down in everywhere they find themselves. That's the person that is going to have to make major decisions for themselves, right? In 2 years' time, in 3 years' time. Yes, your 15-year-old is still talking only about games, sports, anime, and basic things like that. Your 15-year-old knows all about all the different series of phones. They know all about these things, yet they don't know the first word of what it means to make $1. Or first word, what it means, to make a tiny 1% of the gadgets that they carry about. All right, so it's very important that this knowledge is being stepped down as early as possible. It's very important that this knowledge is being shared with these children. It's very important that we're not just sharing the knowledge, we're also sharing practical approach, right, to make that knowledge or make the information that we're passing to the children be authentic. We have practical approaches to making this information that we're giving them authentic. I say this, okay? I like to say this, that your children do not really need information. What our children need today is knowledge. What our children need today is wisdom, okay? Because information is right there. Anybody can click any gadget today. I mean, they are one click away from any information at all. They just need to hear it, and then they go to Google and click, and Google will feed them some article that someone has written somewhere, somehow. And so as far as knowledge goes, there is overload of it. There's knowledge everywhere. All they need to do is stay there and it digests the knowledge and all of that. But that knowledge is not equivalent to wisdom. And this is where we come in as parents, our perspective, right? That's where our perspective come in. That's where our experiences come in. That's where the experience that we create for the children come in. That's where the practicals, yes, the practical experiences, what we simulate, basically what we simulate, what we role play, what we actually allow them engage in. That's where it comes in. It's what makes that information or the knowledge that they have authentic. And that's how they're able to internalize it when it is authentic, when it is relatable, when it makes sense. 1 second, please. All right, sorry, I needed to fix something here to get going. All right, so that's where all of that knowledge becomes authentic and when it is relatable, right, basically. So this is very, very key. All right, so this is very key. And yes, we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be doing this with the children who would be registering, okay, children who their parents will be registering them for the financially smart, becoming a financially smart child and understanding purpose, basically. All right, we're going to be teaching, just listen to what I'm saying. All of this is going to be what we'll be stepping down in age appropriate ways to the children. So by the time your child is done with that course, your child would have a financial standing. Your child would have, right, where financial knowledge goes, your child will have a belief system. Your child will have a belief system. Your child will have some templates, basically. All right, your child will have a robust framework that you can now use, okay, and rope it, or you can now use it and put your perspective or your family dynamics. You can now use it and translate it to your family dynamics. So that way you have a robust, you have a resource, you have that resources or that tool that can help you build the best strategy that you can use and continue with your child on this journey. Apart from that, we have this course every year. So it means that your child can continue to come for referral, can come to enhance what they know already, because of course every time we have the course it is bigger and better and more enriching, and when it is returning participants, then we know that we need to up the game, right, for them and all of that. So whatever you do, you want to get your children in the space where your children are learning financial intelligence, where they are learning financial awareness, where they are learning about money, they are learning about how to create wealth and all of that. When your children learn this, your children also unlock their potential in many other areas. I've shared with you how each of the points that I've shared today, how it doesn't just teach your child about money and about creating wealth, how it also teaches your child about life and every other aspect of their lives and every other habits and skills and virtues, and values that they need to thrive in other areas of life apart from their their financial, apart from their finances. Yes, I talked yesterday. Talked about how we were having conversations with the children about PDD and what happened, with his girlfriend in that video that's been shared by CNN. And we're talking about, what do you think? This is supposed to be someone, he has lots of money and all of that, right? Where are we? As far as our financial as far as our financial blueprints goes as a family. Okay, is this a wealthy person? All right, is this a wealthy person? Right. So all of these things will come in and they become teachable opportunities, okay, for you to create your own idea of wealth, what wealth is and what wealth should be to your child. All right, very, very key. But if you're not having these conversations already, your children are not in the place where they are already learning these things, then this becomes like many other conversations. You know how we are in this part of the world. I'm in Nigeria, by the way. All right, so you know how it is in this part of the world, how we have a new trending thing come out every week. Okay, so today, this is what we're talking about, and then it trends, and everybody talks and blabbs and argues and lose friends over the matter, and then that dies out, and then we forget about it. If it's someone that even needs support, we're done with supporting the person for 1 week, 2 weeks. As soon as he dies, we all forget that the person exists, right? Go until you carry your load, after that, and then we go away until there's a reason to turn and look at that situation. Maybe there's another scandal around that situation or that person, then we will come back to it. So no, if you do that, you're going to put your child, if you do not have these conversations and you're not constantly relating this conversation to real life experiences, what's happening, simulating situations that will help the knowledge, that will help the children practice the knowledge that they have, or the information that you have given them. You don't create practical situations where you can practice this. Then it becomes like many other stories that they hear. Oh, the other day was the bully. They talked about it in their schools. All of them gisted and talked about it, and they move on also. So the gist that you give them will be the same thing. If you are going to be that parents that you just one off, something happens, you just talk about it. Don't try it, oh, in this house we don't do it, oh, don't come here with that nonsense, and then you finish and you move on. If nothing comes up for you to look at that issue again, that's it. Your child will probably not hear of it again for 10 years or thereabouts. And then while you think that you have dealt with that issue some 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, 2 years, 10 years ago, your child is having experiences outside with friends, with outsiders, pop culture, TV, all of that, in the movies, in the shows, in the series. Your child is seeing these same situations, and whatever it is that these mediums or this media is actually, this medium or media is actually teaching your child that is the right way to deal with it, is what remains with your child eventually, because these are the places where your child sees this over and over and revisits these issues over and over again, because you are not creating solid learning, from this, and you are not revisiting. So that's why we say enroll them for the financial course, okay, and let them be a part of it. And then that way you can also share your perspective, and this becomes a means for conversations in your home. And every time there is opportunity, get them books to read, right? This is a very, very beautiful book, right, for financial education. I don't want to tell you how many books our 14-year-old son and we have read with our 14-year-old son. I've read this book with my 14-year-old son. Of course, this is my book. All right, he was the first person that reviewed this book. Okay, we also have my other book. We also have my other book, Young and Money Smart. Sorry about that. We also have Young and Money Smart. He's read this one. We have also read Rich Dad, Poor Dad together. So because this conversation is ongoing, you realize that everything that you have or everything that you can use to build on the knowledge that you have, to build on the conversation that you have started, then you are able to continue. Okay, thank you very much. Rare Tribe says rare content. Yes, ma'am. All right, so you can continue. Why did I say ma? Could be sir. All right, so you can continue to build on this once you open, right, this conversation. And once you do this as early as possible, you realize that this conversation and the learning and the knowledge that you are building through this conversation with your child is able to use it in other areas of their lives, and you realize how robust, I'm not joking, you realize how robust your child's life becomes just because of the conversations, just the because of how you're opening them to this kind of learning, how you're opening them to financial education and financial knowledge. It is, apart from the fact that it will touch on every other area of their life. I mean, think about it, that your child has real solid financial knowledge. Do you know what you're preparing your child for? You're preparing your child for a life of abundance. You're preparing your child for a life of financial rest. You're preparing them for a life of financial, what do you call it, liberation, right? We want our children to be liberated as far as financial, finances goes. And if you are teaching these lessons, you're reading these books together, you are having them attend our children, becoming a financially smart child, right, and understanding purpose. If you are getting them to, you're enrolling them for this course and having them attend this course yearly, what you'll be doing is you will be raising someone who is solid in this area. So what your child sees as wealth will be different from what pop culture says. What your child sees as wealth will be deep and fulfilling. Yes, it will be deep and fulfilling. And what your child understands as wealth will be, how that will be impactful. It's huge, dear parents. Okay, so the last thing we're going to be talking about is entrepreneurship. All right, so we've talked about ways that you can teach your child financial education that will help you unlock your child's potential in every other area of their lives. All right, we talked about that. We said it all begins with what? Your family dynamics. What are your family dynamics? What do you believe about money? What do you believe about wealth? What do you believe as a family? What are your own financial habits as a parent? What are the things that you say? What are the things you do? How do you interact with money? How do you do all of this? Your child is seeing, and this is why the experts say by the time your child is 7, your child already has their financial habits. It is already there. So meaning, if nothing, whatever that habit is, positive or negative, okay, for instance, let's assume that it is positive. It means that at this juncture, the person that your child would be when it comes to money at 20 is already, the foundation is already built. The way your child is going to interact, see, and access and build, their financial empire is going to be based on that foundation that you have created when they were 7, that you had created over the years, okay, that is already formed by the time they are 7. And if your financial blueprints or your financial or money habits are negative, what it means is your child has a negative belief and a negative mindset about money. Your child is probably one of those who goes about shouting that money is evil. Your child is probably one of those that that feels that hi Obey, how are you doing, man? Your child is probably one of those that feels that they need to position themselves for that rich man that is 30 years older than them, so that they can come in and they can live the baby girl life, and the guy will continue to provide the money, and then when he dies, then they have already secured themselves. If you do not, you get. So this will be the kind of mindset that your child has. Your child is probably one of those that is going to be waiting for an opportunity to blow. So in the meantime, do anything and everything. Put your hand anywhere and everywhere. Compromise yourself. Compromise your values. Compromise your everything for the opportunity to blow. I say, so while you are at it, try until you blow. Okay, your child will probably be that one that feels, okay, when you have the money, they must know, they must feel it. They must feel them. You must pepper them. So what do? You carry the money from your bank. You put it on your neck. You put it all around you as you are walking. Let people know. If you do not shake the whole place that you have money. So if you do not have a template, or you do not, if you do not have the right financial blueprint, these are possible ways or the possible blueprints that your child may build, because this is what you also believe, or maybe this is what culture and society has served your child, whether or not you like it. So this is why you have to create one. What are your own beliefs? Okay, the moment you do this, you also want to check, of course, at this point where you're teaching your child, you also want to check if the child's mindset is right. Does he have a growth mindset? Does he have a Fixed mindset. Is the child ready to learn? Is the child ready to try? Does the child know that anything is possible? Does the child know that today where I am is just my particular situation? Okay, I can be transformed to anything. I am here today. I am the potential Bill Gates of tomorrow. I'm the potential Bezos of tomorrow. I'm the potential Dangote of tomorrow. Does your child have the mindset knowing that all I'm doing right now, I am in my building phase, I am in my training phase, and the world is about to hear. The world will hear from me because of the solutions that I have, okay, that I'm building right now. Is your child in that space? So all of this will form their mindset, okay? And so we said, by the time this is right, then you want to jump in and start teaching them those financial education or teaching them those financial skills. You want to teach them to understand money. You want to teach them, right, to understand saving culture. These are all good financial habits. You want to teach them, to how to budget. You want to teach them how to budget. You want to teach them, oh my goodness. So you want to teach them how to budget. You want to teach them, how to understand, investment, how to make, manage, and multiply money. All right. And then entrepreneurship skills. That's the last one we're talking about. All right. So in the world of entrepreneurship, okay, right, you want to teach your children how to embrace entrepreneurship. All right, so you see all these conversations that our parents had, and they tell us to go to school, pick the right course so that we do the right thing, so that you can have the right profession and all of that. All right, so many of us were taught how to come and work and be paid. We were not taught to create. Okay, we're not taught to create. The environment that we grew in did not encourage us to create, because right from the very beginning, our creative instincts were destroyed, right, with all of the consciousness of safety, or just because, we were told your own is too much, prepare body, go and sit down in one place, go and this. So our children, a lot of us in our generation were not allowed to explore, we're not allowed, to explore, to be creative, to discover things on our own and all of that. It is said that that's your child, that child that you are calling restless, okay, that is your innovator trying to understand the world around him. It is true that restlessness, it is true taking the remote control, piecing it apart, throwing that glass, throwing this, throwing that. That is the child trying to understand their world. That is the child trying to understand what is possible. It is when you understand what is possible that you can begin to think of what we think is not possible that can be possible. So that's how creative minds actually explode, right, through trying to understand why one thing is possible and why another is not possible. And if this is possible, how can I use this that is possible and another thing that is possible, put them together and create something that the world didn't even know is possible. So a lot of us were not allowed to explore, to make all of these, to make all of these, create all of these hypotheses, test this hypothesis, come up with something new, test them. We're not allowed all of this, right? So if you are in that space, now that you know, now that you understand, you can begin to create something new, new experiences for your children. You can begin to allow them, try things out. All right, I wrote here that the world of entrepreneurship is one that many adults do not tell young people about. All right, we said, however, learning about this world will inspire your child to identify and develop their entrepreneurial skills. All right, so when we do this, we help our children understand that being an entrepreneur is about creating solutions. We now begin to tell them you can create a solution when you don't have the expertise. You can create a solution that you do not understand the problem. So when we do that, we make the children become conscious of the problem in their environment. Okay, now while you are doing this, you're thinking, or you're teaching the child is entrepreneurial skill, but you're also teaching your child to be aware of their environment. You're also teaching your child to be aware of the situation. So situation awareness, your child becomes a child who is aware of the situation around them. You're also teaching the child to be humane. The child begins to understand the people around him, the people around his environment, whether that environment is in your home, whether that environment is in their school, whether that environment is in the neighborhood. Your child begins to pay attention to the people in their environment, thereby becoming humane, right? Understanding the pains of other people, understanding the life that other people live, understanding the challenges that other people have, and then of course trying to proffer solutions to those problems or those challenges that other people have. All right, when we do this, it's not just about them providing services or products to solve this problem. It becomes about them being in tune with the challenges of other human beings. That is what God created us for, that we are in tune with each other as human beings, our pains and our struggles. Okay, why else would the scripture says, when I was hungry, you gave me food to eat. When I was homeless, you opened your door. You have to be conscious to the emotions, okay, or the things that other people are going through for you to be this person. All right, so while you're teaching your child financial education, you also teach them to be aware. Through your simple financial education, your child already understands that there are other people, okay, out there that are probably at the same level, where I am. There are people who are higher. There are people who have needs beneath, that are less than the ones that I have. So they become aware of the needs of different kinds of people. Okay, you also make them aware of their environment, because by the time your child is thinking as an entrepreneur, what solutions can I create? He's also thinking about his environment. What are the problems in my environment? When you do this, you also make your child a person of impact, because it is part of impact to think of the challenges or the struggles that people have and how to solve those problems. Okay, while you're teaching your child entrepreneurship, I hope you know that the first phase of it is also teaching them how to serve, right? By the time you start teaching entrepreneurship skills, you realize that you put your child in a place where your child can build confidence. Okay, when you put your child early, all right, to start thinking about how they can be of service to other people, you introduce them to mentorship systems, you introduce them to service, you introduce them to volunteering, you introduce them to internship. When you are doing this, you are helping your child build confidence, you're helping your child build their skills, you're teaching them people skills, you're teaching them how to connect with other people, you're helping them build their social intelligence, you're helping them build their emotional intelligence, you're helping them connect with people. All of this while you are teaching entrepreneurship skills. So can you see what we mean when we say you can help your child unlock other potentials by teaching them financial education? Our children started 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago, we started doing a system in our home where during the summer holiday, our children go and do internship programs. All right, so our children go out to do internship programs. All right, we started this 2 years ago. Last year, our son had to work at the barber's shop for 3 weeks. Yeah, our son had to work at the barber's shop for 3 weeks. Okay, he would actually wake up in the morning, have a bath. He has to be there like every other worker, and all of that. He was learning to, how to, I was learning in the barber shop, right, how to barb hair or how to cut hair. And then while he was there, he would come in the morning, and his first chore in the morning was to get all of the towels, so he would get all of the towels. I don't know whether he had to launder them also, but he would get all the ones that were clean. He would have to fold them and stack them, where they belonged. He would sweep. So every time the barber's finished with a haircut, it was his responsibility to sweep, and he stood. He woke up when he got to work at 9 o'clock. Was it 8 or 9 o'clock? I can't even remember. But he had to go to work. The first day we showed him and all of that. Other times he had to take a cab, get to work, get to work on time. He wakes up in the morning, packs a meal for himself, cooks something, packs a meal for himself, takes his cab, gets there, goes to work. Most times he's standing because as the barber is the barbing, he has to stand, he has to watch. They will send him, get this, get the towel. He knew what to do with the towel. He knew how to finish up with the customer when the barbers had finished, and then he knew how to clear up afterwards and all of that. So that was him learning. Okay, he needed to be in the workplace to learn that entrepreneurial skill, basically. But why is that? Is being of service. Okay, why is that? Sometimes he had to, engage the customers, or the customers will ask questions, and then he would be there having conversations with the customer and all of that. Many times he'll come home, he's been tipped here, he's been tipped there. So he had to understand the system out there. He came back with tips every time. In fact, there was a day that he was there and a man came and was telling him how his who was in the hospital, and all of that, how he needed money. This was my 13-year-old at the time. An adult came and was telling him how someone was in the hospital, how he needed money, and all of that. And that day I had given him money that he had transported, and he had some change with him. He packed his money and then gave the guy. When he was telling me at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, so at least he's gotten that experience now and that he knows. So I'm like, what do you think? Those people that will walk up to you and then they tell you stories. You come back 2 weeks later, you see them in that spot telling the same story again, and over again. I just said, I had this person now, even up to it. Child, you have to do this to a child also. But that's part of it. That's part of the experience, so he had to experience that also. There were times he had to go look for food, where the other people in the shop bought food. He would go there, he would buy his own food also, and all of that. That was experience. Okay, he stayed there. He had to, he had to learn. Right there, our daughter had to work in a tailor shop. So she would go to the tailor shop. She was 7 at the time. She was 8 at the time. She's turning 9 this year. Okay, she was 8 at the time. She would dress up in the morning, get dressed, carry her tailor's bag, go to the tailor shop or drop her off. She's there. She'll do her part. She put the needle for them. She'll do what she has to do. And then she was learning. Okay, so it's all part of it. Entrepreneurship skill. They're learning, but they had to serve first. In all of this, they're building skills. They're being of service. They're unlocking, they're tapping in, they're learning new things and all of that. All right. So yes. So that's what we're talking about. Your children can learn to unlock all of the potentials that they have. Okay. And it doesn't have to be everything on a blackboard. It is through teaching one thing that your children will unlock other areas of their life. Life is connected. Okay. You need to understand this as parents. And when we do, then we understand that every time we teach our children, we want to do it from a place of intentionality, because in teaching one thing, there are ripple effects that will help them unlock other areas of their lives. Do you have books? Okay, I shared Young and Money Smart. So you see, I don't joke with this. Children becoming smart financially, children becoming smart and aware of their environment, children understanding the various areas where they can build, right, in order for them to unlock their potentials, right, and be wholesome. All right. So of course, this is another of our book. They both belong to the Skillup series. Okay. So each of this book is 4,000 naira. You can get it for your children. We also have another series, the playtime story. The time. The Stories for Champions series. So we also have our journal. So this is a whole year journal, right? You can use it for any year at all. All right, so it's a whole 360 days journal where you teach your children reflection. I didn't talk about reflection today, but when your children are doing accounts, for the small businesses, so we have part 2 tomorrow and next week, we're going to be talking about that. Okay, they will have to learn reflection. It's a great skill. Okay, it's a financial skill, and then it affects every other part of their lives. So we have Christmas Stories for Champions. This is about it's a legacy kind of thing, children tapping into what Christmas was like for us, just sharing different Christmas stories of what we did as little children during Christmas, when you visited your village, when you had, neighbors, when, all kinds of stories. It's not nativity, it's just stories, African stories of what Christmas is like growing up. So anyone can read this. Okay, we also have the playtime stories for champions for children 0 to 10. It's packed with activities that you can do as a parent with your children, that the children can do with their older siblings. You tell a story, and from that story, you jump into an activity. Amazing resources. You should have this if you have young children in your home. They can read through this and create the activities at home. We have our first book, our bestseller, Bedtime Stories for Champions. If you don't have bedtime stories for champions in your home, you're wrong. Okay, you're wrong. It's full of inspiring stories of young people. Our books are always beautiful. Okay, it's full of inspiring stories of young people who have dared to do more. Young people who are not just being little children, but who have decided to start creating impact, to start being people of value, creating solutions in their environment. And then, of course, the world is already rewarding them for that, meaning they have businesses. Some of them started off as 9-year-olds. Today, they are teenagers and they're young adults, and they are multi-millionaires already, just because they started to create value early. So you want to get this book for your children. All right. And then we have our only parenting book, where we have shared as a young parent, okay, as a young parent, as someone about to get married. This is an amazing book that will put you on that journey, knowing what to do. I shared in here my struggles as a young parent, the things I had to learn on the journey, the things I had to unlearn on the journey, and how I supported my first child for the first 10 years of his life. Amazing, amazing book. All right, so these are all of our books. You can get any one of them, okay, or you can get all of them. Okay, most of them are, this is 3,000. The Skillup journal is also 3,000, and then every other book here is 4,000, and you can get all of them. I think all of them, 6 or 7 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all 7 of them you can get for about 28 or so. So you see, cheap. But you can also get our book. You can get our books from, you can order our books from us, and you can pick up from various cities across Nigeria. You can also get them on Amazon. Almost all of them are on Amazon, so you can check that out. And you can also get soft copies from our seller page. All right, so thank you very much. If you like your child to be a part of the financial, becoming a financially smart child and prepare and understanding purpose course, then the link, I think there's the information and the link in the comment section. You can use that to register. You will also find it in the description on YouTube. So you can use that, or you can reach out to us on 08130621566. Let me see if we have any banner for this that you can take a screenshot of. Okay, I don't think we have a banner for the financial cost. All right, so we don't have that, but hey, you can also do that. Okay, and yes, I talked at the beginning about the mastermind circle. So that's our peer mentorship and accountability group for young children. If you like your child to be a part of the mastermind circle, go ahead and send us a message. Okay, or you can actually use the information on your screen to register your child to be a part of the mastermind circle. Our next cohort begins in September. 1st of September, we move. And of course, it's a community that you want your child to belong to. We are empowering children powerfully, supporting them, and giving them accountability. Thank you very much for being here today, for joining us. All right, I know you got value from this. If you did, let me see you in the comments. All right, share with us your best emoji and let us know what you learned or that you got value from this session. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic rest of the day. God bless you. Bye.